How on earth do you go from junk mail envelopes with a brown paper bag from a fast food place to a complete grungy junk journal? Junk mail envelopes. I'm sure that you have some. They come in all shapes and sizes. Making a junk journal using envelopes. Well, I have a pile of this envelope, the same envelope, and I thought it would make a really nice little junk journal. I've opened up some of them so that I can have this delicious pattern. And some are green and some are black. And I've had enough that I can do 2 signatures. And I already love the feel of it. And I'm going to leave a lot of this rough stuff. Keeping with the theme of recycle, I'm going to use this A&W bag. I love the sound. It's the perfect height for this, and it's the perfect width. I don't have to cut it down or do anything with it. I did glue down this flap, so that's glued down. This part's very flimsy, so I want to stabilize it a little bit. So this is a heavy cardstock, and I'm just going to slide it in the paper bag. Just a little bit smaller than the paper bag, but this will help it to be just a little bit sturdier. I'm just going to fold it in half. For the cover, I'm actually going to leave one side of this paper bag as is, which will be the inside. For the cover, I have these fabric samples. It's got a plastic edging around the edges, but I'm gonna do away with that in a moment. I'm going to cut it down here. I don't know, will it rip? No. And I'm going to be sewing around it to keep it from completely fraying. And there we have the cover. Gonna use my Yoo-hoo glue just to hold it down while I take it to the sewing machine. And there we have it. And that's the inside. The next thing I want to do is I want to make sure all of the sides and everything are open so that I can change where the pockets are going to go. So I want to open them all up. And it would be easier to do it this way, because that's what was happening. And yes, it will take some of the grunginess away, but we can add that back in. So I'm just taking a sliver off each of them. Make sure we have the same amount in each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be so good. Now this plastic is on the outside, and you may not want that. We can always put it on the other side, but if we do that, we're gonna lose some of our design. So instead we can leave it there and just make sure that we can cover around it with some decorative pieces. This is what it will look like. I don't want two white together. Let's split that up. But I want the windows and you can turn them upside down because we can change the direction of the pockets. Maybe go that way. Not too many. So you can play around and put them in different directions if you wish. Now at this juncture, do I decorate now or do I sew them in? I think I'm going to sew them in, but I want to add one envelope in the middle, like a tiny envelope like this, and then I can cover my stitching. This could be a flap. I can open it up there, but I have to see if I can find another small envelope. Add my envelope, CD, to the mix. I'm going to trim off the sides. Just take a smidgen off. That will fit there. Now to sew them in, I want them on either side of this line right here. I'm going to just pencil that in so I can see it a little bit better. Then I want one signature here, one signature here. I'm going to line this up. And line this up. So now I need to make a template. I'm going to put a T for top. So hard to see there. So I'm going to go in and make them a little bit wider. So there's the holes. Let's bring these back. Just need 3. 1, 2, 3. I always cut off too much, but I'd rather have too much than not enough. So I'm gonna line this up. Okay, and I'm gonna punch the holes. Now I have lots of pokey tools or awls, and I like to use them all. It helps keep everything in place. And then I line it up here. Line those all up. Oh, wait. I gotta take my template out of the way. There we go. Line everything back up. All right, here we go. I'm going to start at the top. The reason I like to start at the top is because then I can have my dangles hanging. So in and out we go. Now I'm going to get another clip just to hold that thread so it doesn't go anywhere. And then we just go back up, trying really hard not to split the thread. We're back at the top again. Everything looks good and straight. Now, move my needle. Pull these as tight as I can. And I want the knot to be up here. And I'm just going to glue that right away. Just put some glue in there. You don't have to do this. And then those can hang down like that. I'm going to do the second signature and I'll be back. And just like that, we have a junk journal. It's squishy. Only had to take it apart a couple of times because these were uneven, and they're still a little uneven. But no one's really gonna know. And now the fun part begins, where we can start decorating. This should open up now. Let's just rough this up a bit. Some of them are too nicey because I just trimmed them nicey. So we need some rough edges. How can we do that? Oh, we could get an emery board. Maybe use our straight one. Now Louisa Hansel does this, so you have to check out her video. And then if you have one of these tools, you go in and rough it up some more. So I'm going to keep going until I get it the way I want it, and then I shall return. I have it all nice and rough on the edges, and now I want to really grunge it up. So I'm going to wet the edges, and I think I'll start with this one, lemon. I don't know how, whoops, Louisa did this. Whoops. And some orange, peach. Oops. Maybe I should. Oh, yeah, get this one off. Ah. I think she might have done it just this way. Ah! Well, that went a little crazy. So I'd like these to have a little more brown. What if I just, oops, just went a little crazy like that. There's not much of this one left. I'm going to, I think, let this dry. It will take a little while. I think it's probably as grungy as I want it. I don't know. I think I'm going to have to grunge up the cover. Let's see. Oh, what a mess. Ah! Oh, I sprayed it at me. Oh. Why not? Why not? Sop this up. And we'll leave it to dry, and I'll clean up the mess. Thanks so much, everybody. Bye-bye.